depending on where in the world. How's everybody doing? If you're here, as always, please kindly say hello, put a like, and let me know that you're here. I'm currently headed to a dentist appointment, so while I have some free time, I decided to do a live because I'm not sure I'm going to have the time to do this later. How's everyone doing? Say hi. Hey there, BKB. Dad plays FIFA. Greetings from Dubai Hills, Rob. Hey there, bud. How you doing? Dubai Hills is a good place. So, okay, guys, let's talk about basically what's going in the markets. Can you hear me well? How's the sound? Because the AC is working. I'm well, thank you. Fred, you getting ready for bed? Okay, awesome. Good night. Can everyone hear me? Just please confirm that you can hear me. Okay, all good. That's good. All right, basically, let's talk about what's going on in the markets, right? As per yesterday's update, I believe that we are at the point in the market, basically, where Bitcoin is either topped. I personally think it has topped. This is the first time I'm calling for the Bitcoin top in the cycle. Yeah, twice before I got it right, and I think this time I'll get it right too. So I think Bitcoin has topped. If I'm wrong and it hasn't topped, I don't think that either way the risk and reward is worth it to be bullish here, because I believe that even if it hasn't topped, it will definitely top somewhere around 150, 160K. But I think it has topped at 126. And I want to talk about risk and reward, right, guys? So why is risk and reward important? Because we're 4 years already into the market cycle, roughly 4 years, as always. Bitcoin has gone from 15K to 126K. XRP hit new highs on several different exchanges. Some coins have rampaged hardcore like Sol. Unfortunately, most alts haven't done anything. And I think it's just a trend that has formed since 2017. In 2017, all coins pumped. Then the cycle after that, some coins pumped, many didn't. And in this cycle, most coins did not pump, and a few did. And I think it's just the trend. Either way, I'm 90% out of the market, as you know, and I'm waiting basically for the best time to buy coins like XRP and Bitcoin. And let's talk about when is the best time to buy these coins. We know for a fact from our past experience and 3 market cycles, this is our 4th market cycle, and nothing has changed. We know that for a fact the best time to buy is after big crashes. During every cycle, people say that these crashes are not going to come, but they always do come. And it's just a matter of patience. So even if even if we haven't topped, once again, I think we have, but even if we haven't, all you got to do, if you're using the same strategy as me, as is always ignore the pump and wait for the major crash. The optimal time to buy is always after a big crash. We have had Bitcoin crash in the past, 87%, 84%, 78%. And yes, the crashes are diminishing, becoming smaller, but I don't see if the Bitcoin crashed that many times before, why it can crash 60 or 65% this time around. In addition to that, I don't see why it could crash more, right? Something can change, something is changing, it appears, because metals are going crazy. Precious metals are rampaging for the first time in like 4 decades. The Nikkei 225 in Japan has woken up for the first time in like 4 decades also. Obviously, there's some kind of trend shift. And what I believe, like I told you earlier on, I believe that the bull market in precious metals is screaming that once it's over, there's going to be a good drop in the stock market, basically. And if there's a good drop in the stock market, there's going to be a good drop in crypto. And of course, as always, these big drops are going to be accompanied by some fear narrative, terrible news. Crypto is dead, the end of the world, blah, 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 everything we had basically in the last 3 cycles. And that's going to be the perfect time to buy. That's how you know that's a good time to buy. Time-wise, when it's been left for roughly 300 to 400 days after the top. But once again, let's not put a timestamp on it because it doesn't work well. But meaning big drop, big percentage drop, fear-inducing narratives, and yeah, everybody hating crypto and calling it a scam. Because right now there's just disinterest in crypto. Nobody's interested. Nobody cares. Everybody is buying metals. So the new basically meme coins and utility tokens are basically gold coins and silver, and other precious metals. The bull market is there, and nobody knows when it's going to top. People are throwing targets out there, and they're just guessing because they're just guessing. That's all it is. Some guess if you're right, some guess if you're wrong. So sooner or later it's going to top, and once it tops, people believe there's going to be rotation into crypto. I don't think there's going to be rotation into crypto personally because there's no facts, there's no proof of that. All we know when we look at precious metals and the correlation to crypto is that when precious metals started pumping, crypto started dumping or paused out and slowed down and did nothing. So that's the only correlation that we have, which is exactly why earlier on I kept saying that it's crucial for alts to pump before the metals wake up. And I thought we're going to have the usual scenario, stocks hit all-time high, stock indexes hit all-time highs, Bitcoin hits all-time high, all of that happened. And then what was supposed to happen as usual was that altcoins start rampaging. Unfortunately, this time it didn't happen. And after that, I thought metals would start rampaging, and that was a sign to get out. Unfortunately, what happened instead is that metals started rampaging without altcoins having done anything. So I stuck to my plan, and I got out with significantly smaller profits than I was hoping for. But still, given the fact that most altcoins, and I mean like literally 99.99% of coins did nothing in this the last market cycle or did very little, still outperformed by a lot because most people, from what I see, when I talk to people, haven't made any profits whatsoever. We still made profits, did a round trip a cycle, secured, and now we're going to compound the interest basically. So yeah, my personal stance is, as always, the best time to buy is after a big drop. There's no big drop, so I'm not buying. I'm going to wait for the big drop to come. It's going to come. Back in the day when I was predicting when XRP was trading at $2.80 and I was saying it's going to 15 cents, a lot of people were very angry with that and there was a lot of ridicule. To this day, people are thanking me for that entry because we did buy 15 cents and, recently XRP went to $3.65. So I personally sold all my XRP now. I'm out. I've been taking profits on the way up at the dollar, at the $1.50, at 2, and so on and so forth. At 2.85, I think was my best sell. I'm not here to catch tops. I'm here to buy low, preferably lower, and sell high and sell higher, right? What we know also, as I said earlier on, is that now basically I believe most altcoins are defunct forever. They're not going to recover a pump again. So we're going to be sticking only in the cycle to coins that have done something every single cycle, like XRP, Bitcoin, BNB, and a handful of other coins that I have on my mind. But we'll talk about them once we get to the accumulation zone and Bitcoin has dumped hard and altcoins have followed. It's just a matter of time, basically. Just a matter of time and patience. International Crypto Asset Ninja, good to see you here. He's saying, hi, Rob, my friend. Hope you're well. Looking like you're piloting a helicopter. That's a good joke. Thank you. No, I'm going to a dentist appointment. Rainy Steps 301. Hi there, how are you? Adrian Massima, good to see you. He's asking time-wise, when do you think we'll reach the bottom? I'm not going to put any timestamps on it, but it would be reasonable to expect a bottom roughly the same time frame as before, because so far time frames have worked, and we'll see once again in the coming months if the roughly 4-year cycle has worked out again. I personally believe it has. We've had literally people who have claimed that the roughly 4-year cycles don't exist sell like just a few days before the exact 4-year cycle ended, using other reasons for it. But basically, many big profiles have sold based on the 4-year cycle. Me, I have always been a roughly 4-year cycle guy. And that's exactly why I got out, because unfortunately time started running out and nothing was happening. And I'm glad it did so, because when I was getting out, it was at roughly 110,000 Bitcoin. XRP was at roughly like $2.85, something like that. So I'm glad I got out everything then, because as you can see, everything is now. And I think personally that is going to go significantly lower again. So yeah, I'd say do not put timestamps on it. Just wait for a big drop, Adrian, and that's it. Yeah, because right now I can say 300, 400 days, and it doesn't happen, and therefore you think basically, what I said is invalidated. So, don't try to catch the bottom. Just wait for a big drop and buy, right? It's the same thing. I keep reiterating, don't try to catch the bottom. Don't try to sell the top. Just buy low. If you get a chance to buy lower because there's even a bigger crash, buy again. And buy again if there's even a bigger crash. So basically dollar cost average at new lows if you can. And then sell after holding for several years for whatever the price is. And that's one thing that also we're going to do in the cycle. I'm getting rid of price targets completely. Because I've been keeping track of my price targets. I'm keeping track of other people's price targets, and there are like 78 people I think on that sheet. Just so you know, practically none of those price targets came true. I mean, biggest YouTubers, biggest Twitter guys, including me. Like I think the accuracy rate is like I don't know percentage wise. I would probably say 10%, somewhere around that. It's basically very bad. So we're getting rid of price targets. If you want to be realistic about it, this is what you do: wait for a drop. You buy, there's another drop, you buy again, there's another drop, you buy again. You wait without trying to catch the bottom. If you got spare money to put in and it's still low enough, you keep buying. You wait, you hold for years. Whatever the price is, once several years have passed without trying to catch the top, roughly 4 years again, let's say, but we'll see if cycles are lengthening. You sell. You sell and you wait for a big drop again. And, ignoring the sentiment. That place FIFA says, your thoughts on Roll Paul's extended cycle, Rob? It's possible. It's very possible. I've talked about this myself. It's possible that cycles are lengthening. So I'm not going to say that's a bad theory, but it will be put to the test soon enough. Currently, so far, what we can see for a fact on the chart is that we're roughly 4 years into the cycle, and Bitcoin has started dropping as usual, and coins have started dropping as usual. So it seems the same thing is happening so far. If there's more than a 50% drop, then his theory validated. I really hope he's not going to be one of these guys, like other people on crypto Twitter with large followings, these TA guys, that once Bitcoin dumps 80%, they say that it was just some wave count, just part of the elite wave count, and it's an extended cycle, and they've basically been telling you since 2017 that it's a super cycle and all this BS. You probably know who I'm referring to, but they don't do anything not to admit that they've been wrong. But when there's more than a 50% crash, especially if there's a 70, 80, or more than 80% crash, that's not a wave count, my friend. That's just your shit TA, and you're just bad at what you do, trying to cover it. As simple as that. So we'll see. It will be put to the test. I'm sticking to roughly 4-year cycles, right? That's why I'm out with 90%. So basically, I'm out. I hold 10% of my risky plays, which are small caps and mid caps. I've taken partial profits on some of those coins that did deliver, sold earlier as per Patreon. All the sales were posted there. Yeah, and otherwise, if there's some kind of miracle, I'll sell the rest too. Fred is asking, you think BTC can hit 50K? Yes, I do think so. Fred. I think BTC can hit 50K. Once again, I said if we had 87, 84, and 78% crashes in the past, so let's just round it up around 80%. Yeah, so we had 80% crashes before. Why can't we have a 65% crash this time around, right? I think we can, and I think we will. And I think that's the perfect time to start buying. And I personally think it's also a good idea to accumulate a lot more Bitcoin than other coins. And I personally think that in the future, every time you have any spare money, one should just buy some more XRP Bitcoin and let's say ETH, for example, but especially Bitcoin, then buying some, meme coin, hoping that it will go up, because I don't think that that they will. And time has shown that most of these coins don't go up; they go to zero, and it's way too risky, basically. So it's much better to put, even if it's only $100 at a time, or $1,000 at a time, or $500 at a time, whatever you got. Basically, it's much better just to buy some more Bitcoin and hold it for a few years before selling and then rebuying after a major crash again. So yeah, that's my stance, and I'm waiting for the perfect time to buy all these coins, which is going to be once a big drop happens. If you got any questions, let's answer some questions for 5 minutes, and I'm going to bounce, my friends. Put a like while you're here, please. International Crypto Asset Ninja, you stay here? You still here, my friend? Are you already gone? What are you seeing, by the way, guys? What are you seeing on Twitter or on YouTube? Are most big profiles bearish or bullish? What kind of videos are they posting? Are people waiting for the old season? Because people keep telling me that everyone is bearish, but I don't see it. I see a few bearish individuals, but I keep seeing that people are waiting for the old season, and I keep seeing that these crazy targets. International Crypto Asset Ninja, good to see that you're here, brother. Adrian, Rob, please keep the $5 tier. Yeah, okay. I'll keep it. I'll keep it. Quite a few people have asked to keep it. I'll keep it. No problem. I'll keep it. Rico Chef Effects is saying, will the millionaire sheet for the next round be out after the final drop in this microcycle, Rob? Yes, Rico, it will be a little bit different. Like I said, there'll be a lot less coins. Accumulation will be a little bit different, but that's always every single time I buy and sell, I'll post about it within minutes. And yeah, the strategy will be a little bit different. Once we're in the accumulation zone, I'll put out the new interesting. Fred says BTC on a daily chart looks like a developing head and shoulders. Yeah, you see head and shoulders, my friend, is such a weird setup. Most of the time it doesn't work out. Like statistically, Google it. Most of the time it never works out. We always think that we see head and shoulders, but then it turns out often turns into something else. William, good morning. Good to see you. International Crypto Asset Ninja, always happy to see you here too, my friend. Yeah, International Crypto Asset Ninja, I am keeping up on workouts. I've gained some fat too, though, because I've been bulking and trying to put on as much muscle as I can. So I'm going to have to start dieting again soon to shed some weight and be more lean. I'm going to get to that soon. I just want to get my bench rep. I want to bench more. I'm only at like 60 kg right now, and I want to get up to 80 kg bench press before I start cutting. But yeah. All right, my friends, it's been great seeing you. Thank you very much for joining. Please kind of put a like, share the video, the live if you can. Yeah, as I said, let's wait for the perfect entries to buy after a big drop. I'll be posting about all of it on Patreon. I'll be posting my thoughts on XRP soon on Patreon. Also, I recently published a few days ago an update there. I'll leave a link to it in the comment section once this live is over, if you want to join. But yeah, be patient and don't be emotional, my friends. Be patient. All right, my friends. Good talking to you. Bye-bye.